Does getting a good night of sleep actually help you trade better? Well, for the next 72 hours, I'm going to be trying to find out. You see, lately I've been feeling very sleep deprived, and honestly, maybe it's because I've been running off of 5 hours of sleep. However, I'm starting to see it leak into my trading performance. I've been making a lot of shitty decisions lately that has cost me a lot of blown funded accounts. So every night I'm going to be going to bed early to aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep. I'll be wearing this Apple Watch to track my sleep stats, so when I wake up in the morning, I can have Claude grade how well I slept. And then I'm going to start my trading session. By the end of this video, we're going to evaluate sleep score versus P&L for all 3 days. And we'll see if the data shows that getting a good night's rest actually makes a difference. So I may have made an oopsie on day one. The goal was to go to sleep early with my watch on so that when I wake up in the morning, I can have Claude analyze my stats and give me a grade. But I am really bad when it comes to going to bed on time. I usually get caught up in doing something like editing a video or playing a video game. And by the time I realize it's extremely late, I usually just rush into bed. So I completely forgot to do all of them shits, but at least I was well rested. I did get 9 hours of sleep. However, that still didn't stop me from making stupid ass decisions. See, as I was looking to go long here, expecting price to break these highs and continue upwards, I missed something very important that would cost me later. I didn't look at Delta, which was painting a picture that we did not have enough buyers to see a breakout above these highs. These are usually the same mistakes that I'm making off 5 hours of sleep, but now I'm just making them off 9. So with $600 on the line here, I decided to close the trade and ended the session with only taking one trade with a total loss of $1,061.84.
It is, as you can see, 9:54. We're already off to a bad start because I have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. And well, I'm not the best at math, but I know 10 to 4:30 isn't exactly 8 hours of sleep. It's more like 6 hours of sleep. Nonetheless, we're going to be using this bad boy, which is an Apple Watch, to track our sleep score, I guess, and see how well we slept. I guess I'll see you in the morning.
But I am so fucking tired. I thought I was recording this whole time. Turns out I wasn't. It is now 5 o'clock, as you can see, and we got our sleep results. These are the statistics. I don't think you was able to see that because this Apple Watch turns off every fucking 5 seconds. But it did it again. You bitch. It was asleep for 6 hours and 40 minutes. You can see here. We'll focus. 6 hours and 40 minutes. But I am fucking exhausted, and I'm not even sure if this shit is still recording anymore.
So this was unexpected. It turns out even though I didn't even get a full 7 hours of sleep, Claude still gave us a B for our sleep score. And I'm not gonna lie, this was some of the best sleep that I've gotten in the last week. However, I still felt extremely tired. But I guess my body just needed to get started because I'm not gonna lie to you, 30 minutes after I was ready to So the goal of this session was to see if I was able to be patient enough when the market isn't doing anything, and eventually look for the right opportunity to make some money. And a few moments later, I see a really nice opportunity to take a trade to get in on this downwards move. As soon as price hit my first target, I quickly moved my stops to break even, which basically means this is a risk-free trade, so no matter what happens, I can't lose money on it. But there was one little tiny thing that I've noticed about markets this week. It is very bipolar. It would proceed to move 20 points in your direction and say, nah, fuck you, and reverse that entire move. So we did get stopped out here, ended the trading session as well too, but we did ended up making back that 1,000 we lost from yesterday. So right now we're sitting at about break even.
Hear me out. I promise I was supposed to be going to bed on time. And I promise it is totally not 10:08. And I'm going to fail to get another 7 hours of sleep here. But don't worry, guys. I just have to do some dishes and I'm going to hop in bed. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Ooh, I look like Batman in this lighting. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can get the guns pumping. Yeah!
All right, so far, here's the results. Day one, we ended up getting a full 9 hours of sleep. However, we wasn't able to get any data from Claude, so there is no grade. But even though we got a full 9 hours of sleep, this resulted in a day where we lost $1,061.84. For day two, we ended up getting 6 hours and 40 minutes of sleep. Claude ended up giving us a B for our sleep score, and we made $1,068.16. So going into day three, we're pretty much sitting at break even. So this is a day that would literally make or break the result for this challenge.
Good morning. It is 5:40, and I'm exhausted. Sleep stats, and we were asleep for 6 hours and 53 minutes. And we was awake for 14 minutes, and I felt the 14 minutes we were awake.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is hella off topic from the video, but I had the weirdest dream that woke me up. Somebody stabbed me in the penis with a needle. I'm just gonna leave that there. So going into day 3, given the fact that we got 6 hours and 53 minutes of sleep, Claude ended up grading us an A for our overall sleep score, as well as giving us a 97% sleep efficiency rating. Holy shit, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm 100% certain that this was the best sleep that I've gotten over the last 30 days. And I'm genuinely excited to see how my trading performance goes for this day. So for the first trade of this session, I saw an opportunity to make money on the downwards move. However, after hitting my first target, it seems we couldn't really get any more money out of it, as price kind of struggled to move lower and eventually stopped us out at break even. Notice a common theme going on this week. A few moments later, price ended up revisiting that same level again. However, I did something that I don't ever do. I moved my full target lower. Whenever I move my targets further, it's usually a clear sign of fucking greed. And as price hit my first target, then stopped me out at break even again, I had to sit and watch as this trade goes my full take profit, while I'm not even in it to make money off of it. Not gonna lie, this got me a little aggravated. I was taking the right setups, but I wasn't catching the full move. And the third trade would completely set me off. This time, I had flipped my bias to go long after seeing whatever... I don't know what the fuck type retracement that is. Shit looks like a tiny ass hammer. Price quickly moved to my first target, got so fucking close to my second target, then came all the way back to stop me out at break even for the third fucking time. Now I was in full-fledged tilt. If you don't know what tilt is, let me explain. Tilt is basically when a trader gets so angry that all logic literally goes out the fucking window. It is the equivalent of getting so angry you decide to punch a hole in your wall. The problem here is I already took my 3 trades, and I have a strict rule that says I cannot take any more than 3 trades, otherwise I would have broke my trade limit. But because I'm on tilt, we don't care. I took like 5 more trades and every single one of them resulted in a loss, completely blowing my funded account with Lucid. So for the final day, we ended up losing $1,922.40. All right, so let's evaluate the experiment. So on day 1, we had gotten 9 hours of sleep, but we failed to put on an Apple Watch, so we don't have any sleep score from Claude. However, we still ended up losing $1,061.40. On day 2, we ended up getting 6 hours and 40 minutes of rest, and Claude gave us a sleep score of a B, and it turns out that day we ended up making $1,068.14. But on day 3, which was our best day of rest, getting 6 hours and 53 minutes, and on top of that, Claude giving us a sleep score of an A with a sleep efficiency of 97%, we ended up losing $1,922 and can't fucking forget about the 40 cents. All right, let me calm down and bring us back to our original question and the whole point of this video. Does getting a good night rest actually make you a better trader? You see, on day 3, I had gotten some of the best sleep in a while, but it somehow led to my worst trading day of the experiment. When I look back on it though, honestly, the sleep wasn't a problem. I mean, I had taken 3 solid trades. Had I stopped there, I would have been green on the experiment and on the week. But I let my emotions take over. I broke all of my rules, and no matter how much sleep, recovery, or well-rested you are, nothing will fix lack of discipline.